Hello friends, welcome to Maths Medicine, #MME. In this video, we are going to be learning about the basic algebraic equations. You know, equations are different from expressions. Expressions goes basically without an equal sign, but when we talk about equation, there must be an equal sign to show that it is actually an equation. This one is part 1 because in this video, we are just going to be talking about the plus and minus operations. That is, the inverse of plus is minus, and the inverse of minus is plus. So we are going to be talking about just plus and minus. In our next video, we will talk about multiplication and division. Okay, let's look at this. Remember, whenever you hear algebra, algebra is that branch of mathematics that uses the letters of alphabet to represent numbers. At this point, you can see letters of alphabet anywhere, but those letters represent number. That part of mathematics that people hate a lot. People go as far as saying, why are you telling me to look for X? Why are you telling me to look for Y? Why can't you find it by yourself? I want you to understand something. Whenever you have something like this, 2 plus x is equals 6. Please, don't bother yourself so much. Don't get confused because you have x. Just in your mind, change that x to an empty box. You have 2 plus an empty box is equals 6. This is an open sentence. This is an algebraic equation. We call it algebra because of this letter that we have here. But they both mean the same thing. What is the question the two of them are asking? 2 plus which number will give you 6? 2 plus which number will give you 6? But the difference is this. Whenever you find the answer or the number that should be here, you should always show that x is now equals that number. You don't just write your number or the answer and leave it empty like that. Okay, let's find out how we can do this. Remember, we are talking about addition and subtraction in this part. So we have plus x, 2 plus x is equals 6. Now remember that plus is the inverse of minus. And whenever you have any number like this, without any sign coming before it, or without a negative sign coming before the number, it means that number is a positive number, which means there is an invisible plus sign here to show that this number is a positive number. Now, for you to find the answer that should be here, what you need to do is this. There are 2 ways you can solve it, but I prefer one. But I will just explain the 2 ways and then keep solving with the one I like so much. Okay, the 2 methods. The first one, the main idea is to make x to stand alone. And for us to make this x to stand alone, we have to remove this 2. And how are we going to remove this 2? Remember, this 2 has a positive sign here, an invisible positive sign. So for you to remove it, you have to use the inverse of the positive sign, which is minus. So we are going to subtract 2 from the both sides. So we have 2, okay, 2 minus 2 plus x is equals 6 minus 2. And 2 minus 2 will give us 0. 0 plus x is equals 6 minus 2. 0 plus x, that is nothing plus x is x, which is equal 6 take away 6 minus 2 will give us 4, which means x is equals 4. If you put 4 here, 2 plus 4 will give you 6. Now for the second method, that's the one I like. We have 2 plus x is equals 6. Now for you to find what x is, remember there is an invisible positive sign here. Now one thing I want you to understand is this. Whenever a sign crosses the equal sign, it changes to the inverse. The inverse of addition is subtraction. So if this plus 2 should cross over this equal sign and go to this sign, this plus 2 will automatically change to minus 2. leaving this x alone because you are moving this one, you are operating this one and moving it to this side. You are shipping this one to this side. So this plus 2 will change to minus 2. So you have x now, only x is equals 6 minus 2. X alone is equals 4. Which one do you prefer? Let me choose for you. I prefer this. So we are going to be working with this. Okay, let's solve the second example. We have, let's say we have y take away 10 is equals 45. Y take away 10 is equals 45. Remember that the inverse of minus is plus, and the inverse of plus is minus. So we are going to use this method. What we need to do to make our y to stand alone is to shift this minus 10. Ship it, carry it like this. Here, move it to this side. Bam. And once this minus 10 crosses this equal sign, this minus sign will change to plus. We have plus 10. So here we have y alone now is equals 45 plus 10. And y is equals 55. Which means 55 take away 10. Or 55 minus 10 is equals 45. One more example and then we call it a day. Last example for today, we have, let's say we have something like this. This one is example 2, don't get confused. The last one, example 3. Let's say we have 2y minus y minus 5 is equals 10. 2y minus y minus 5 is equals 10. Now look at this, 2y minus y. Y is just one y. There is an invisible 1 here. So I can decide to write my 1, but in mathematics, you just leave it. Anybody that says this should know that this is just one y. So 2y minus y will give us y. Instead of writing one y, you just use y. So you have y minus 5 is equals 10. Have you seen that we have arrived to something like this? Now, what is the next thing to do? The next thing to do is to shift this. Remember, the inverse of minus is plus. Why not shift this and make it to cross the equal sign? And once it crosses the equal sign, this minus will change to plus. So you have plus 5. As you move it, y will just be left alone. So you have your y to be equals 10 plus 5. And y is equals 15. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please endeavor to share this video with your friends and get your children to learn this, as they will keep saying this in their everyday mathematics in school or any competition they see themselves. Thanks for watching.